Alright, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of aMillionortheMoon, where we on this channel try and impart you cryptocurrency knowledge, wisdom, and insight. And in this video, this is a very important video because I want to talk about what it takes to time a potential next top. If you're tired of, following the sometimes bipolar advice of crypto YouTubers, well, folks, I want to give you some tangible things to look out for. I'm going to run through some quick TA with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, talk about the altcoin market, and without further ado, let's delve into it. So, ladies and genitals, on February the 2nd, I prophesized, I foretold the incoming rally with Bitcoin. I let the good people know, if you follow our Twitter, link for that down in the description below, that Bitcoin was breaking out bullishly out of our daily RSI red resistance trend line, and that if we got a bit more follow through on the price action breaking out bullishly above this red resistance trend line, well, then in that case we would have the potential for bullish continuation, probably testing the low 40,000 region. So that was at $38,000. Where are we now? Testing that low $40,000 region. So folks, are we out of the clear? I want to arm you guys with some tangible knowledge to understand when it could possibly be a local or cycle top, and when it might make sense to de-risk or take some profits if you're looking to take profits on your investments, or if you're trying to protect yourself against the risk of a greater bear market incoming now that Bitcoin has put in macro lower lows. Whatever your reason may be, I want to tell you guys how I'm so good at timing the market. Number one, folks, the fact that Bitcoin has now flipped a major resistance area, $40,000, $41,000 from resistance into support, getting daily candles closing above it, is a very good sign to see. Now, next major resistance level, in my opinion, is 46,000 US dollars. That's when volume starts to kick in, and that's a historically price reactive movement. So if we can flip that from resistance into support, get daily candles opening, closing above it, well then in that case we could believe that the rally may continue on further. Now, something I want to know, that being the Bitcoin daily RSI. Folks, the Bitcoin daily RSI has been uncannily, amazingly accurate, historically speaking, in timing local tops with Bitcoin. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Folks, I've been preaching on this channel. There's two things you gotta look out for to time this market. That is the daily RSI divergences and trendline breakouts. So, number one, folks, divergences. Here we had a higher high in price action paired with a lower high in RSI, and wouldn't you know it, we entered a downtrend. So that's divergence. What about trendline breakouts? We have a trend line right here, resistance, 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 resistance. We break out bullishly, and wouldn't you know it, we have a major impulse here. Folks, divergences and then trendline breakouts are some of the major things you need to look out for. So, folks, with Bitcoin showing signs of strength here, with the stock market not completely collapsing, there is now a chance that we have an extended relief rally. Now, how do we know how to time the top? Well, folks, the next time that Bitcoin enters the oversold territory on the daily RSI, and furthermore, next time we see bearish divergence, getting macro lower lows on the daily RSI paired with higher highs in price action, that should be our cue that it's at that point makes more sense to de-risk, take profits, because historically speaking, whenever Bitcoin has started to put in lower highs on the RSI but higher highs in price action, it is always in the near past foretold incoming crashes and incoming corrections. Look at this, folks. Higher highs in price action, lower highs in RSI, crash. Higher highs in price action, lower highs in RSI, crash. Higher highs in price action, lower highs in RSI, crash. Is anybody noting a pattern here? So, folks, if you want to time this relief rally, if you want to know when it might make sense to ride the wave and then take profits and de-risk, well, folks, historically speaking, the last times Bitcoin has entered the oversold region on the daily RSI has been near local tops. And then especially if you can get bearish divergence confirmation on top of that, well, moving forward, that's probably your cue that the likelihood of an incoming bearish reversal is at the very least increasing, and that's where it makes sense to take profits and de-risk, in my most humble of opinions. I've only just been extremely right the last couple of years. So what do I know? Now, looking at Ethereum, very nice relief rally here. Good to see. Now, I would want to note this historically relevant trend line. If Ethereum can start to spend time, dailies, opening and closing above this red trend line, then in that case, we could probably see bullish continuation. This is hovering around the $3,300 mark. So that's where I would look for major resistance to start incoming here with Ethereum. If we can get above that 3,300 to 3,350, well, in that case, we could probably see further bullish continuation. Now with Cardano, folks, I seem to have timed the bottom in our most recent upload here, talking about how $100 was $1 was strong support and how I was highly tempted to buy at these regions. Now, we're not fully out of the clear. For me personally, to believe in an extended upswing with Cardano, I would want to see this thing break above this red trend line, spend times on a higher high, preferably above $1.60, and then in that case, we could probably see an extended relief rally. Up until then, we're still below resistance and not out of the woodworks quite just yet. And if Cardano loses $1, spends time on new lower lows, gets daily candles closing on lower lows, let's say below 90 cents, well, in that case, folks, that would be stupendously bearish for Cardano, and the possibility of quickly hitting $40.30 is likely, as there is very little support below $1 for Cardano. Now, ladies and genitals, if you're interested in more daily updates and want to know what I'm up to, then I invite you to check out our Discord group. There's a link for that down in the description below, and our VIP Discord group where we update the people on the things I'm looking at getting in and just my general thoughts and kind of stuff. So, folks, if you're interested in that, join our Patreon. There's a link for that down in the description below. Become a VIP Discord member, and until next time, folks, take care. Hey man, sorry to bother you, but listen, I got liquidated using your fucking link, eh? So I'm just calling to see if I can borrow $5.
Bro, every day you wake up with a new reason to why you need $5, man.
Fuck you, I'm unsubscribing.